For the next session, our panel discussion will be focusing on the retirement living for foreign nations. May I please invite Dr. Rajbhandary, Executive Chairman of Brihat Group, Nepal, and Ms. Carmen Chong, CEO of Global Real Estate Alliance. My name is Namtip. I will be the moderator for today. So while we are waiting for the clicker, starting off with the topic retirement living for foreign nationals, we have two professionals here with us today. So, what do you think about this topic, retirement living for foreign nationals?
Well, I think that this is a topic that we really need to think about, right? Many of us are talking about tourism, the growth opportunities to do real estate globally. But there's a group of population that we need to start looking into, right? Let me see. Retirement is becoming global lifestyle decision, not just a domestic one. So for me, while many Americans are retiring abroad, and this is a great session, but first and foremost, if I like to say thank you to Dr. Pornchokchai and the First Lady for having me here today. My name is Carmen Chong. I'm the CEO of Global Real Estate Alliance. We are servicing the 19,000 members in the US, 23 chapters and 2 in Canada, and looking so forward to meeting all of you, especially new developers, so that we can introduce it to our members in the US. But this topic is really very important because every day, let me just move a little bit here. So in the United States, over 10,000 people turn 65 every day. By the time we get to 20, we're going to have 1 out of 5 Americans that will be 65 years old. Think about that, right? So it is a great opportunity for us to start thinking in terms of the developers to build communities to service this group. And the past generation, these retirees are not content for just simply living like that. They're happy, joy these years, and definitely have the money to do so. But if you don't, they will come and live in Thailand. So inexpensive here. So a very things to look for. Who are they? So, who are they? Right? Because we're trying abroad. So you have two markets. The Americans that are not able to build, but they do want to live in a much better place where the cost of living is low. They have very rich exchange rates and they're people of the cultural experience. I met Clayton, he's here today. Clayton's from the US. So he have moved to Thailand for almost 35 years. So during this Thailand is one of the greatest country to move to as a retiree. For nationals retirement in the US. I'm from the US. I was asked to speak a little bit about that. And there are foreign nationals that do want to retire in the US, and this is going to be the topic. Okay? So who are they? They're health conscious, they're tech savvy, they're financially strategic, increasingly open to living abroad for higher quality of life, right? Oh. Sorry. There. So the high net worth, they're willing to pay the money. So many, many years ago, 30 years, 40 years, we have seen a lot of immigrants come to the state for opportunity or business opportunities. So now that they have established their life in the US, they're bringing the parents so that they can retire and be closer to them. For example, in Silicon Valley, high paid, high paid technologies. Obviously, they want them to be closer to their kids so that they can take care of them. Right? So, high net worth parent and US residents, as I just mentioned, they send their kids to go to school. The kids started to have a life in the state, so they went to come to the state, dual citizens, and also for those investors, the EFI, and as Joshi mentioned, the first golden card from so who are these people? What's there? Let's see. And what are they looking for? Very important Chinese. It is the healthcare access, the secure low maintenance housing, the strong legal protection. This is very important in the US, right? I've heard from also the Southeast Asian countries is on this whole, right? So if I stay, I mean, can be empty. It could be a residential home, it could be rented, it could be commercial, it could be industrial, warehouse, you could buy anything. There's no out of time. The tax estate planning, family proximity, cultural inclusiveness. So where are the opportunities? I invite all the developers are the profession who has access to these developers to really think about the rise of worker communities, include integrating healthcare and housing into one experience. Right? Have the hybrid retirees are using real estate in tandem to fund the lifestyle, securing the legacies via activities. Global alliances, agents nowadays and developers are collaborating cross-border to serve this demographic with holistic solutions. Strategic locations, whether we see the state, we see the Arizona. So here Dakini from the state, he is from Arizona. Past president. So if you have a question for Arizona, reach out to him. So I have Atsuko who came from Silicon Valley. She was also past president of the chapter for our organization. So thank you for being here support. The other locations will be Los Angeles, Houston, Texas, and also Florida. Florida, we do have a project there that you can represent as well. Some commission. It's one of the most luxurious company parts in the first helipad in Tampa, Florida. Okay. Working.
Can you share เปลี่ยนสไลด์ให้หน่อยนะคะ เปลี่ยนสไลด์เปลี่ยนสไลด์ได้ไหมคะ ทีมงานเปลี่ยนสไลด์ให้หน่อยนะคะ
It's okay. Can just go ahead and launch, right? Since we do hear as well. But in any case, I'm going to continue to do this panel of questions about USA retires and then this goes to you. Go ahead.
If you like to comment the slides, it's on.
Is it coming? Okay. Oh, I'm going to go back. So we talked about that. A little bit of stats from NAR, right? It has become borderless. Retirement is borderless nowadays. So don't think that because you're from Thailand, maybe you're from Thailand, you want to retire in the US. Maybe we from the US want to retire here in Thailand. So we have become borderless. So the advantages that as I mentioned is, for the USA is that you can buy any type of properties and because of the political stabilities, protections, opportunity to establish multi-generational legacies, and then solutions are basically for us, the real estate professionals, to be able to give you advice and consider the opportunity to to seek in stay as retired. This is just some stocks, foreign investments from April 2023 to March 2024. So it was about 42 billion in residential real estate. Which shows the confidence that still United States is a safe haven for professionals. The business that has been purchased are mostly it's about 54,300, but I would think that it's higher than that. The median purchase price, and I say median because we do count the other states throughout the state. It's about 475,000, but the thing of this is foreign nationals are to buy luxury properties or even pay more than the actual value is, which average about 392,600. And about 50% of the people that comes from countries are cash transactions. And we used to have Chong come to so great, but there's a lot of the currency going up. So hopefully we find a way very soon. We have about 5.1 million since and this is stats from 2022. 38% of them choose to go to Europe, and 60% are always looking for healthcare saving. Something is very expensive, very, very expensive. Actually, all the years throughout your life, it's if you become ill, you lose all that money. So we're looking for retirement benefit, being able to access the healthcare. Most important, right? And have access to a lot of other lifestyles, like the top countries of the investment states. So the top countries are Canada, China, Mexico, and UK. I think that India is going to surpass China very soon in the state for investments. So I'll just pick some of the okay. Top states are Florida, Texas, California. So the information is here. So please reach out to me and work. I'm here, and this is what we're going to be talking about: the opportunities with the affluent retirees. Talk about the affluent target market and the difference between the retirees with the foreign retirees. And what can we do to grab this opportunity and get in business? And that's it. And that I think is the questions for our panel. Thank you.
So thank you for sharing your thoughts about the topic. What about Dr. Rajbhandary? What do you think about the topic, retirement living for foreign nationals?
Thank you very much. First of all, this session assess at the retiring phase, I suppose, because from early morning till time, session is very important. So everybody's participation is highly appreciated. First of all, I would like to thank Dr. Chong and FIABCI for organizing such an important networking as well as a knowledge sharing program. So this is a very important subject also. And this has been put forward in a very nice way. So I am one of the panelists for this session. So there is a slight difference between the senior citizens and the retired one. Yeah. So everyone as per the countries, the senior citizens is going to use some country consider as a 60 years, the senior citizen, some country you consider as a 65, and some country you consider as a 70 years, right? But senior, this retirement is not related to years. Only because they exceed the job. So there is a difference. Is that the world population is so all the senior citizens is around 1 billion. Senior citizens is so just is. It's not really mean that they should stay in the country. It's exploring for some of the different countries because they have certain lifestyle, they want to do something different than what they have been doing. So in considering this, considering Southeast Asia population is around 682 million, the country is very population. So as such, market is very high in this region. Many people from US, North America, let's say North America, Europe, demands here because of the weather conditions, because of the lifestyle, because of the culture, because of the weather conditions, their preferences here. So similarly, we have become just became for this year. So if I get with you, try to enjoy Nepal. So Nepal is a Himalayan country. Nepal's tax is the largest single highest mountain of the world. That's Mount Everest. It's 2025. Yeah. So that sense also, whatever suits for your health, whatever suits for your entertainment purpose. So that is the beauty of the Nepal. It's the culture, some values also. You can have adventures, you can have motivations for these type of things. Is the Nepal is the destinations, and first is the cost factor. If you compare with the cost factor, cost of living in any of these Southeast Asia country, Nepal is the most economical. For one retired person, you can stay with about $40 that you can spend with a very luxurious life as a retiree. So that is another very interesting fact. So considering investment here in Nepal, investment also recently government has announced that this investment in the senior care home and others activity they have been promoting. So I would like to request any investor from attending this conference can have a better opportunity in developing projects, seeing this retiring for foreigners in Nepal. I think that this is about the Nepal and this is about the retiring senior citizens differences. Thank you.
Thank you so much. From both of your perspective, I can see that there is like big trends for retirement living. So what do you think is the features that foreign retiree citizens prioritize in retirement properties? Miss Carmen Chong, what do you think is the
I think that for retirees, the very first one as I mentioned before was the healthcare, right? It's very important for us to do that. We might be able to walk or eat as much as we want to, but definitely having a healthcare access is number one. If you're going to build a community, you have to have the first thing they ask you. Is there a medical center? Is there a hospital nearby? Right? Especially when you're going to a country that is not like the one that you were from. So that's the very first one. The second one for us in the US, we have gone through something called, and I think Kurt and Atsuko, this in the Bay Area, there's a time where it was a hate to Asian to attacked. So very important is the safety, whether this community is gated, whether it's a 7 care, whether it has the developer will provide much more than that. If it is AI, a lot of the green tools that will be added into the development. But I think that what's important for us to have access to different the transparency coming from the developer, from the country as to how to bring rights, right? If you said it's leasehold, it's leasehold. Okay, but is the government stable? That is very important because the country can change or the government can change some rules suddenly. Here you're stuck and you sold everything that you have in the country, and you country that suddenly is not. So stability in the government is very, very important for us. Lifestyle. The retiree base, they don't want to just be in a place where it's just they feed you breakfast, lunch, that very few little things in terms of activities. We want to have a live and vibrant lifestyle, right? We may be of age, but our heart is still young. Our brain, I think that most of us want to keep active. So therefore, a lot of that activity is very important for us. To have a community that is close by. Everything in the park and have your pets, but more importantly, to be connected. Definitely to be connected with the community that we choose to live in.
So from what I hear, the concern that they have would be healthcare, securities, the ownership, like transparency, the community, the lifestyles. What about you, Dr. What do you think?
Yeah, first, if I develop a project for the retiring for the foreign nationals, then first it comes as a health. So at least if I have a project in Nepal, then my first thing I should keep in mind that I should have a collaborative approach with good health hospitals. So where it can be assessed within 24 hours, 7 days. So that's the first primary important. Second is like there should be a rehabilitation center or mental services center so that if anything goes, you need to assist with them. This is very important factors. And another is the safety because everyone is looking after the safety. Though lots of digital surveillance is there, still then the people wants a gated community and CCTV surveillance and outside guests and inside guests. There should be a special precautions, conditions also to feel safe. Even if I'm a retired person, if I'm spending my time in Bangkok, my family members may wants to watch me how I've been doing, whether I'm having some medical problems or nothing. So these things should be the security one. Safety and security is second. Then third comes as a lifestyle. Because every retired persons, they are not physically retired. They are retired from what they have been doing. So they are another lifestyle, right? So they retired from their job, but they are still wants to do something very different. I have seen many people they were with one job and after retirement, they enjoy their life with some what they want. So lifestyle is very important. Like some of them wants to join like a club, like Rotary Club, Lions Club, and some have a experience and a business. They wants to be a mentors. They wants to do some small entrepreneurship workshop and like that. They can be a mentors. So their involvement is they want some involvement in that community. So whatever they have learned throughout their life, they want to contribute back to that community. So this is another, and another most important is the infrastructure also. So infrastructure, like for retired people also, if you are doing a project, then the accessibility, like a big corridors, a big elevator, if there is a fire, there should be some safety measures. So for the project development, if you consider these factors, and these days it's most important is the environment friendly also. So you should have some green spaces, some meditations hall or yogic or exercise or swimming pool or even a golf also, depending upon your expenses as well as your targeted customers. So these are the important to sell your projects. Thank you.
Okay, so I think you both agrees that the most important features would be healthcare, safety, and lifestyles. Then coming to the next question, how can retirement projects balance health, security, and lifestyle needs? Miss Carmen, what do you think?
What was the question? I'm sorry.
How can retirement projects balance health, security, and lifestyle needs to fit like these needs into one project, both for the health, security, and lifestyles?
Retirement projects balance health? Is that the question? Because it seems like, I'm sorry.
I think, okay. Anyway, we are almost run out of time. Maybe we can wrap up a little bit. Starting with Ms. Carmen, could you wrap up your ideas about this topic and then it will follow by Dr. Ong?
Yeah, I think that this is a huge topic that there are developers to really to put it together. In the United States, we had the 50 plus senior housing, right? But that is so I don't think I see that in the Southeast Asian countries. I think that Mexico is doing very well in putting their as the first thing they look at is to have the residentials and all that, and of course they have already like a template where they have the medical, they have the recreational, they have the parks, they have things that are very accessible to the retirees, so that they can come with us in the countries. Plus, besides, of course, of the currency exchange and all that being less expensive than in the United States. Very important is to have the single level and single level housing. I would love to leave it at the Ritz Carlton, of course, with all the amenities. But the thing I'm going to be concerned about, what if I'm not going to be able to walk? So there's the elevators, like you said, it has to be wide enough so that chair can fit into the elevator. Maybe parents like the support receiver with his grandchildren taking care of them. We don't want to do that anymore. Be out there still. We have proximity to the healthcare. We talked about community-based living with amenities like the fitness time and cultural activities. But last but not least, is to really understand in every of the single countries. And I appreciate Dr. Sapong for putting the different Southeast Asian countries as to what is available in terms of investment. And in this case, also it applies to retirees. Let's see one last thing. Yeah, definitely. I have been taught 3-4 times. I never looked at it as some place that time. And I also visited the other countries like Philippines, like Vietnam. And the one thing that I tell you, so some of them, like Japan and Philippines, is that people want to live in your place. But you have to market it with information and solid education as to why they should choose your country to live in there. Not just because you have a low cost living is enough. There's a lot more to that. And that's why being in this type of conferences is very important. Being part of, it's going to put in the information. I would love to meet with you or at least I was going to get my information so that you can connect with me and to connect you to 10,000 and 43 chapters in Canada. So hopefully we'll continue this conversation.
So I think this session's one very important that we have not discussed is the visa as well as property rights also. That's effects for these retiring people. So visa is one of the very important issues, but for many retiring people is to come and stay at different country. So if you have a visa flexibility for retiring people, then you have a greater market. Recently, I was in Canada for attending the Rotary International Convention. So my sister lives in Saskatoon. It's very cold place during the winter. So she has a frozen shoulder. So every year, January generally it will be too cold. So it's very difficult for her to stay in the Canada, right? So she wants to come back into Nepal for at least 4 months. There are so many people because of the weather conditions they want to stay. So what is required is the visa provision. And there is, if you buy the property, what are the conditions that we have discussed thoroughly within a daytime, all of the sessions. If not, you cannot buy. You should have a rights to sell also if you buy. And if leasehold property also, what is your rights? These are also very important to attack them. So with these things, I'd like to say that Nepal is one of the best destinations for retirement. So please come and first visit us. If you like, then you can retire at our destination. So we not bringing the FDI only, will bringing your knowledge and capacity and your whole expertise to our country also. Thank you.
Thank you so much. So if anyone wants to talk more on this topic, you could also talk to them. So thank you so much to our speakers.